Hello guys, welcome to Crypto MC. My name is Rudo and this is the Trade for a Living podcast. So today we're going to be looking at this price action, and I'm saying Bitcoin's big dip. So how big will the dip be and where can we buy this dip for a little bit more of an upside? I'm still expecting some more higher high targets later on this week. So let's quickly have a look at that. So what I have here, I'm going to just scale this back up to the 4-hour time frame, and let's just quickly do a short recap of what was said during the beginning of the week. So if you look at this price action at the moment, the important thing from Bitcoin is from the last time we went into the 70s, rejected and kind of died down, the big battleground where support is currently either being locked in or when support gets lost and turned into resistance is this green band that you can see here. So you can see that there's a lot of negotiation around these areas. So every time price goes there, it wants to see whether it's truly support or where it truly can reclaim. And that price point for Bitcoin is $65,000. So it's like a psychological barrier as well. So we need to see 70, 75, 80 before that can be deleted out of the mental registry of everybody trading and investing into Bitcoin. So that's a critical level. So where we find ourselves at the moment, if I then zoom into our current channel that's moving, so we can look at these lows here and that high there, that's how I just protruded the channel. So if you look at that, you can clearly see that we're above that support or resistance level. Now, when we're above it, it's support. Below it, it's obviously resistance. And sometimes the resistance levels need to get tested. So once it was resistance, if it gets broken, price will then go back and test that area. And therein comes the dip part that I'm talking about, that there's the potential for a dip for us. So let's quickly have a look at this now and move into this area. Now, what I'll do is I'll quickly delete the squibbles from yesterday. But in short, adjust this. I'm expecting price to, like the last time we went above this midway of our channel. The last time price went there, we kind of had this up and down chop scenario, and then the shakeout dip, and then a higher high. So I'm expecting something similar to that. And I'm still going to hold to that same idea. So nothing has changed regarding that. I still expect that the market's going to want to go through these choppy moments. And what supports that as well is if you look at the lows on these areas, and I'm just going to switch to the line tool just to make it a little easier for you. So if you look at the lows around this area, it's followed by lower lows on the RSI, and the RSI is starting to retrace as price is not making lower lows. So we're in that same hidden bullish divergence scenario. So this is almost, like I said, the market never repeats itself, but it always rhymes. It can be considered the same rhyme as there. Okay, this then means, like I just said, it's fair to assume that price would still go and test any one of these levels. The critical thing is there is our pivot, the last big pivot we had. So from where we are now to this level, this whole battlefield can be considered bullish. But I would rather say I will shorten the bullish idea because I want us to stay above this negotiation zone, this massive resistance that's currently keeping us from our bull market. Okay, so that means anywhere from 67 where we are now all the way down. Good runs, you know. So I went long this morning. We kind of went into the strong bullish divergence on the 15-minute, trying to see if Bitcoin's going to go make a higher high, and we're rejecting at that trend line at this moment. So it just boils down to that same argument that the market is a little choppy, and it's going to be like that. Okay, so you're going to have to be patient with that kind of price action, a little bit of chop. Okay, so I'm expecting short term, I was looking for maybe another version of this. Okay, but if I'm not getting this, if we break through, if this trade fails, I will look to re-enter potentially where we are now, but then with a short to trade the continuation of this. Because the pivot that we can look at, the first initial demand zones is right there. And price can go and bounce at this demand and then potentially reject and then bounce at that demand. and then we're still within our parameters. So which means because we're in the middle of these two bands, it can sometimes become a little wishy-washy. Is it now going to go up? Is it now going to go down? Pick a side, man. And that's the frustrations we're dealing with. So my trades are in. I've picked a side, and I think the side that you need to pick is still that of a long. Don't short this, because you've got all this momentum. Rather stay true in harmony with the trend. And then if you're wrong, we will break critical trend lines and critical support levels and things might change around there. Okay, so that's basically the gist of where I see BTC going. So 15-minute time frame, we really want to boil this down. You can clearly see the RSI is turning around. It's trying to create a base here. We've rejected, and it's almost a blessing. So if I zoom this out, it's a blessing, because at this stage, you don't want hidden bearish divergence. So the fact that we're selling off here and we're building more of a baseline here could be good. Another thing just to keep in mind, candles can go down and low. I'm fine with that. But I want to keep an eye out on where the candles are closing. So for this divergence, there's a resistance for the bears to try and push price down lower. So the fact that we closed above it is a good sign. But now I'm looking for a candle to open and close above it. So there's about a minute 30 left to see whether that is happening. Once we're above this open and close, I will move my stop, which is down here, to at least to the bottom of this area, so that I can just reduce the risk on my portfolio a little bit, and I can still allow this thing to breathe, because then we're saying that this demand zone is strong enough to turn the tide. So you don't necessarily need to be taking unnecessary risks with your trade capital. Okay, so let's let that simmer for another minute or so. Head over to the comments. Morning, Damon. Morning, Batali. Chris, see you here. Morning, Renee as well. Let's see what else. Morning, Dean, and Rudo can vouch for me. Yes, that is true. That is true. Damon is legit. And I see Peter is here as well. He can't join us. He's not backstage today, so he's just checking in. Okay, guys. So that basically needs to happen now. Just as a friendly reminder, the video is brought to you by Prime XP, or made possible through Prime XPT. You can open your own Prime account as well. Links tagged in here and in the video description. And if you deposit your account, and I set this for the entire week, and then there's, I think, 2 or 3 more slots left. If you open your Prime account, fund it with about $5,000 worth of your trading capital, which is a fair amount. That's kind of what you need if you really want to trade for a living. If you fund it with 5,000, I will, and head over to the Discord. Let's just do that. Head over to the Discord and claim your access. I'll give you a year worth of free trial within the private sector, where I share my trades as we go live. Okay, trade with me, as well as we look at spot setups and so forth. And then obviously it's just a nice community of like-minded individuals like yourself. There you have it, guys. Everything in 8 minutes. You have a lovely day. This afternoon, we're going to be looking at more altcoins as we are getting closer to what I hope will be a bull market. So let's just minimize. There we go. Let's just do that. So we're going to be looking at some of the alts. Just as a quick reminder, the coins that I shared at the beginning of the week, Bitcoin Cash, gave you a good 10% plus. Okay. Dogecoin broke out and gave you, I think, let's see, from where it's at now, you're about 10% as well. I'm still thinking DOT's going to do the same. And let's have a look at Woo real quick. Woo's about to break out just above the buy zone. So it went up, tagged the top of the range. I see Woo going to go to that level there at around 24 cents. And then the last one, Celestia, as well, had a little bit of a spike, still testing these lows. So if Bitcoin decides to change its mind and start rallying, which I really dearly hope, I don't want to lose the trades at 10 BTC long. I always risk the same amount, which means that I get comfortable with that. And then when the trade works, obviously I know where my profit lies. Like I said, beginning of the week, I kind of screwed up. I mean, I bought BTC. This was at 65, and it ran all the way to 68, and I was sitting on my hands shouting at myself for being such an idiot short TPing, because I wanted the market to move in the way that I saw it. And sometimes that's the worst thing. So let the thing chop, let the thing breathe. You can see that we're still fighting this critical resistance area. So this is what I normally call the couple range, a couple of hundred profit, couple of hundred down. It's just going to chop around there until it decides what it wants to do. Now, see, here's a question, and I quickly want to end off the stream with an answer to this question. This is from Edu. Hey, Rudo, how do you learn to just sit on your hands and wait for the right setup? Well, simple. You have to wait for the right setup. So if you don't have your setup rules clearly defined, it means that then there's many possibilities. So as soon as you go loosey-goosey with your trading, okay, and let's head over to the Discord trade panel. As soon as I go loosey-goosey and I start thinking, this might be a good buy, or this might be a good, and this looks nice, the RSI or something like that. As soon as you bring an opinion into the market, that is when you're going to start trading, okay? And then you're going to find that you want to be impatient, because you can see that, it's going up. Maybe it's the right one, and then you're going to want to try and time this. You want to get there. You want to get there. I've long ago gave up on trying to be that good, because it just doesn't work. You're going to get it right once. Everybody's going to celebrate you, but your account's not going to reflect the success that everybody thinks you're achieving. Okay, that's why I trade and I share my setups with you guys live, so you can see, hey, I'm a conservative trader, but I try and go for regular, consistent gains, because that's the only way that you compound your account, and that's what we're looking for. When I just consistently compound my account, so that I can get to that big money, where a simple trade isn't. It doesn't really put my hodl bags and everything else in jeopardy. Okay, so I hope that helps. Danielle, nice to join. Thanks for making it, guys. So I'll see you in the afternoon. So we'll be looking at some of those hodl coins. Grab those slots, guys. It's going to help you out for the entire bull cycle. So do it now. Get it done. There's a few left. It's Thursday. And that's it. That's all I have to say. You have a lovely day, guys, and chat to you later. Cheers. And because Peter is not here, none of these things are automated. So thanks. Let's see. I have to manually automate it.